Welcome back to Middle East in Depth, part of Levant TV's Press Reviews. Hisham Murad writes an article in the Ihram newspaper on what he believes is the dilemma of anti-ISIL military strategy. The United States is at war against the Islamic State, Murad says. To win its war against the terrorist group, which is inspired by Al-Qaeda, Washington rallied an international coalition of Western and Arab states. The writer argues that this war concerns primarily the 6 oil monarchies of the Gulf: Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain and Oman, as well as Egypt, Iraq, Jordan and Lebanon. All are concerned about the rise of the Islamic extremism represented by ISIS, which had already shown a willingness to expand its influence in the region beyond Iraq and Syria. Murad adds that the objectives of the Arab Western coalition are multiple: contain ISIL's military advance in Iraq and Syria, and break its image of unbeatable military force, and deal with it as a moral and psychological blow that would reduce its appeal and its mobilizing force. According to Murad, the weakening scenario of ISIL poses a major dilemma, which means how to reduce ISIL's military while avoiding that the vacuum left by its foreseeable withdrawal is filled by the army of the Syrian regime, and how to prevent the military weakening of ISIL only benefiting the troops of Bashar al-Assad. The writer concludes by saying that in order to deal with this possibility, the Arab Western coalition has sought to strengthen the camp of the moderate opposition, because airstrikes alone will be unable to defeat ISIL, but ground forces must take advantage of these keystrokes to gain ground at the expense of the Islamic State. However, the moderate opposition is the weakest component of the anti-Assad forces and is unable at this time to score any progress on the ground. The editorial team at the New York Times writes a piece titled "The Fundamental Horror of ISIS." The editors start by depicting the atrocities committed under the Islamic State: the beheadings, crucifixions, tortures, rapes, and slaughter of captives, children, women, Christians, and Shiites. Even in a part of the world where terror has been perversely enshrined as a legitimate weapon by Islamist zealots, the Islamic State, led by Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, stands alone in its deliberate, systematic, and public savagery. The Islamic State, as the New York Times sees it, is a link in a long chain of Arab and Muslim terrorist organizations, but no Islamist group before, no other offshoot of Al-Qaeda or Hamas or Hezbollah, has so nakedly adopted a cult of sadism, not only as a weapon in its stated goal of establishing an Islamic caliphate, but as the very reason for its existence. I have to comment here that Hezbollah was never and is not in any way an Islamist group. The New York Times editors then compare the Islamic State terrorism to the genocide in Rwanda and the Lord's Resistance Army and the killing fields of Cambodia, and before that in Europe, the Holocaust. And yet the group is active in a specific place and context, and it is in Syria and Iraq that it must be degraded and ultimately destroyed. To use President Obama's apt terms, the United States and its allies, including several Arab states, have accepted the challenge, but it will not be quick or easy. And for more updates, please visit our website levant.tv. You could also subscribe to Middle East in Depth on iTunes. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.